guys. My name's Angel. This is Grit and Grace Farm. Everything's frozen. Welcome if you're new. If not, welcome back. So, we had severe cold snap come through and everything's iced over. It's really cool looking yesterday. It was sleeting and everything looks like a winter wonderland. It looks like it snowed, but it hasn't. It's just solid ice, which I've experienced snow. I've experienced a lot of different weather things, but I've never experienced something quite like this. It's fascinating. Just now, so Matt is getting the fire going because power went out at like 5:45 this morning. Woke us all up. We snuggled up on the couch. Matt got the fire going. We've got plenty of wood. I've got cast iron so I can cook on it. Like, I'm not worried about any of that. I am watching the pigs closely to make sure that they're staying warm, though I came out and they were out foraging in it. So it's 32 degrees, it's hovering right around freezing, and it's rain, which is why everything is icing up. But I've never seen ice like this. It's just crazy. It's totally fascinating and beautiful. And a little scary because when I went out just now to check on the pigs, I found that there were a couple of small branches that had dropped from the tree above them and hit the electrical fence, which is completely iced up. I've never seen that. And so I picked up the branch and it was just half an inch around in ice. And then while I was standing there, one of the other trees a couple yards away dropped a larger branch, and I decided I was no longer going to stand underneath the tree. So I got out of the pen. But I just fed the pigs while Matt's taking care of the fire. We're going to, I didn't feed them a full portion. I fed them their regular portion, but they're going to need a little extra to keep them warm today. So I'm going to, once I get our breakfast made, I'm going to warm up some milk and throw some of their feed in it and make kind of a warm mash and go serve it to them so that that warms them up from the inside out. They've got plenty of hay in their shelter. I think they're just fine. They're out in it. They're not showing any signs of being too cold. I know people who have pigs in the snow. So, and like negative degrees kind of weather. And so I know they're okay, but that mama in me is like, I want to keep them warm. I can't bring them inside, but I kind of want to. No, I really don't. It's bad enough having the dogs in there, but we're all doing just fine. It's exciting. Yeah, fun times. I guess I'll just share more of this as the day goes on. I'll just share little clips. It'll be a day in the life on the farm with no power. Oh, there goes another tree limb. Let me show you guys what this looks like. First, we have completely iced over stairs and railing. You can see there's a thick layer of ice on this railing, which is fascinating. So everything looks like it's been snowed on, but it's not. It's completely covered in ice. The gate latch was frozen solid. I had to bang on it to break the ice just to get out of the backyard. You see the pigs, they're doing just fine. But you see limbs like this, they're arching. It's under the weight of all of the ice. And it's supposed to stay around 32 degrees all today. And I think it's supposed to warm up tomorrow. So, we will see what the damage is once all the ice melts. But I've never seen anything quite like this. I've been in really big snowstorms, but not an ice storm like this. Just constant sleet and rain, freezing rain, whatever you want to call it. And everything's just completely iced over. The fascinating thing about it is it doesn't feel cold enough for all of this. I guess, I don't know how to describe it. It just doesn't. I'm out here and I'm like, I feel like it's not that cold. But I guess maybe because it's just hovering at 32, that's why, I don't know. I'm fascinated. and kind of excited. Anyways, I'm gonna go make breakfast now. Ooh, more tree limbs are coming down. I can hear it echoing. So I'm going to make pancakes. Matt's getting the fire ready. He had it all stoked and ready to go, but we've got bricks that we're gonna create a little semi stovetop with for the cast iron to go on, just to keep it up out of the fire. But I was not prepared for the power to go out. My dear freshly ground wheat supply is a little low. So we can't run our mill right now. I didn't think to have it ready beforehand, but that is something we're making note of, and we will always keep that thing full now. So, but thankfully I happen to have a singular 5-pound bag of unbleached all-purpose white. It's from our Christmas party with some of Matt's coworkers. I had made gravy, and I didn't think they would probably like the flavor of our whole wheat gravy that I usually make, and so I had gotten that bag, and it's just been sitting there because we don't really use it. We use the whole wheat. So now I'm really thankful that it's there. So now I'm gonna make pancakes. So Matt is having to use a hammer to break the ice because the shed door is frozen completely solid. It's covered with ice. He was going out there to get, he has a small battery pack that he can plug in small appliances to. Nothing for like a heating element, but for our coffee grinder, it would work real quick because we didn't have any coffee ground up, and so he's like, I need coffee. So he's going out there to get that real quick, and it's not real quick. So also, he got the bricks set up so I could cook on it, and I got the batter made and everything. And then I was looking at the bricks and I was like, I don't know that it will be narrow enough to set the cast iron on top of, just as a rim to keep it off of the direct, up off of the embers. Mainly just because it gets messy. I can cook it that way and it's fine, and that's how they used to do it. People used to do it, but it gets really messy really quick, and so I was trying to keep the cast iron up out of the embers. And then I remembered the seldom used but always appreciated cast iron griddle that we have. This beauty will fit perfectly over that. Now it's time to make breakfast, finally. So the power came back on, so we are jumping up right quick and in a hurry to get caught up on a couple of things that require electricity. We're going to see if we can get a load of laundry run, things like that. Hot water heater, so I'm going to do dishes, which we're kind of caught off guard because yesterday we didn't get to them like we should have. Because the power's flickering, so we're doing things as quickly as we can before we lose power again, because we don't think it's supposed to sleet more and more today. So yeah, I'm gonna get to it now. We lost power again. So it lasted for like maybe 2 hours. Kiddos, you're a little too loud. It lasted for about 2 hours, and we were able to get some flour milled. We got the dishes cleaned. Hi. And we got school like basically done. And I think we even got like 2 loads of laundry done. It was great. It was very productive. And I stood up from the table from finishing up school and said, I'm going to make lunch. And everything turned off. We have an electric stove, and we don't have a microwave or anything like that. So it's like, all right, well, fire's still going. So I pulled out a package of hot dogs from the freezer, and that's what I'm doing. I'm making hot dogs for lunch. It's exciting. So I stood up and declared that I was going to make lunch, and then the power shut off. And then right towards the end of me, basically right after I had finished cooking lunch on the fire, the power kicked back on. So we all had a really good chuckle about that. It was out before and during breakfast, and then out during lunch, but on in between. So we'll see if the pattern continues for dinner. We were considering doing MREs just for the fun of it, and by fun of it, I mean, I don't exactly know what I mean by that. But we have some MREs, the kind that, like, they're the proper MREs where they have a little heating element and everything like that. And so we were thinking about splitting one each with the kids, and that way I don't have to necessarily cook. I can cook, and I'm fine. I've got stuff that I can cook on here. It's not been a big deal. But it's kind of a good opportunity if we wanted to try the MREs. So we'll see how the rest of the day goes. So Matt remembered that we had this sitting on the shelf. It was up above it was on the mantle above the fireplace. And so he thought we could light it up and enjoy it. And I'm really glad that he did. Isn't that beautiful? Now the little vase in transport ended up getting broken, and so it's just set up, but we can still enjoy it. Now the power is on, but Matt turned off the lights just so we can enjoy this. But now we also have this as an option for when the power goes back out, as long as we're really careful about it. We got this as part of an arts subscription box that delivered different things from Israel. So this is made in Israel. You know, really get an opportunity to do things like that, so it's kind of neat to use this. Alright, it's getting close to dinner time, and so I'm going to have the kids pick which MRE they want to try. This should be fun. Hey Juliet, come here please. Hi. Alright. So, cheese tortellini with marinara sauce. That's a type of noodle. Lentil stew with potatoes. Pinto stew with ham. Pinto is a type of bean. Spicy Southwest chicken with rice and veggies. Jalapeno curried beef. And, chicken noodle stew with veggies. Which one sounds good? Cheese tortellini with marinara sauce. All right.
Cheese tortellini.
We'll mark that one as the one you're interested in.
Marinara
sauce.
Marinara.
Marinara sauce?
Marinara sauce.
Okay.
Mary.
All right, it's your turn to pick. So, chicken noodle stew with veggies. Curried jalapeno beef, or jalapeno curried beef. Lentil stew with potatoes. Pinto bean stew with ham. And then Daddy picked spicy Southwest chicken. And Juliet picked cheese tortellini with marinara sauce. And you could share with some of them too.
What's cheese tortellini with marinara?
It's kind of like it's a pasta that has cheese in it and marinara sauce.
Definitely that one.
Okay, you and sister can share.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Sure. There's probably enough in that pack.
Yep, it should be enough for both of you. Yep.
And
Very
we'll probably
cool.
have leftovers from that.
Possibly. I'm going to do jalapeno curried beef because that sounds yummy. So why MREs? Why do we even have these things on hand? For situations like this. If for some reason we weren't able to get the wood fire going, if for some reason, if we didn't have clean water to drink or to clean our dishes with, then, and the cast irons were dirty. There's lots of different situations. And so we wanted to have things like that because these MREs have the little heating packet in it. It's completely all contained. Everything you need for the meal is there. And so we wanted to have something like that on hand. We don't have a huge amount of it, but enough to keep us alive for a couple of days if for some reason the need arose. And the reason that we are looking at doing it tonight isn't, like I said earlier, it isn't because I can't cook something. I have meat defrosting and like I can easily cook. I've got the lights on right now. We're fine. But it's a good opportunity when it's not actually an emergency to get the kids to try something new like this, and just to explain to them exactly what I just explained to you. Is it's nice to have this food. While it may not be our favorite meal, it may not be exactly what we want to eat, it will keep us alive, you know, and you don't need a huge amount of it on hand necessarily. But it's good to have something like that on hand just in case something really unforeseen comes up. So we just liked the idea of non-emergency, giving them the opportunity. We were actually already thinking about putting this into the meal plan in the next week or two just for them to try. So we'll see how it goes, and I'll show you that next. Well, that is uncanny. It is 5:38. I had just asked Matt and the kids if they were hungry for dinner yet, because Matt was feeding the dogs. Juliet said, I'm not hungry yet. And so Matt was like, okay, we'll give it like 10-15 minutes and then we'll do our MREs. They only take a couple minutes to warm up. And the lights flickered and went out. That is just hysterical. Almost set your clock by it. So we're all having a good chuckle over here at that. But we don't have anything to worry about because we've got, like I said earlier, we got MREs, easy stuff, taken care of. So we're going to enjoy the last little bit of wintry daylight as the sun starts going down. And we're going to enjoy, hopefully, our made ready debate. Hey Matt, what's MRE stand for again?
Meal ready to eat.
Meal ready to eat. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, so a meal ready to eat. Sounds good.
I'm doing my color by number of a young girl doing like this.
All right, guys, what did you think of your cheese tortellini and marinara sauce? Plus cracker and tortilla and all the extra stuff.
It's okay. I love it. I like okay to eat.
Yeah.
It'll keep you alive.
Yeah.
And very little else.
And I like it enough to eat it, at least.
It's not very healthy for you, but
It's not healthy in the overall.
Yeah.
But it will keep you alive.
it's healthy as a what did you refer to it as earlier? Chef Boyardee.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. What one did you get? You're welcome. Hi. Don't talk with your mouth full, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Southwest spicy enchilada.
No, Southwest chicken.
Southwest chicken.
Yourself.
Hey guys, so it is the next day. Funny enough, last night after dinner, like right as we were finishing eating it, the power came back on. And it stayed on for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Then it shut back off for a few hours. And at some point in the middle of the night, it came back on and it has been on. It came back on at midnight?
Midnight.
Okay, so it was out for a couple hours and it came back on at midnight and it's been on ever since. So I think everything's good. It warmed up enough outside that a lot of the ice has melted. And we thought at first last night that maybe the timings were intentional, like rolling brownouts or blackouts from the power company. But then I was able to check my email and saw that they were just like, no, it's just inconsistent because a lot of trees were down and they had something like 157 independent tree clearing services or workers or something like that working the area trying to clear the fallen limbs and things like that to get the electricity up and working. So we have it now. We've had it all day. We're doing good now. We're just getting caught up on normal everyday things. Everybody's getting showered, so we're doing great now. And honestly, we did great during it. We took note of things that would be a good idea to prepare because, I mean, this may be the last time that it happens this winter, but now we know what to be prepared for next winter. Things like having some flour pre-milled and maybe vacuum sealed in the freezer along with coffee grounds in the event that we can't do that because we don't have power. So things like that. There were a couple of other things and now I can't remember what they were. I hope I wrote them down.
We'll forget them until the next freeze.
We'll forget them until the next freeze. This is true. So anyways, we're thankful that everything went as smoothly as it could have been hoped for. The MREs are not healthy for you, but they worked in a pinch. They aren't any worse than... Matt was comparing them to a can of Chef Boyardee last night.
Not the only one.
True. So, anyways, so I guess that's all for right now. Thanks for joining us here during... we called 2020... Was it 2021? We called it Snowmageddon. It was this Ice-mageddon.
There is no we.
No, most of Texas did, though. But anyways, see you next time.